If you're in a position and you feel you're struggling to manage someone in a role, one of the reasons for that from a leadership standpoint is probably the role is unclear. They probably don't know what they're supposed to do, therefore, and you probably don't know what they're actually supposed to be doing. So having clarity with things kind of helps that a lot, and that's one of the things that allows people to perform at their max is when they know what is expected. And if you're newer to your business, one of the problems is you don't know what good looks like until you get a really fucking good person. And I think that's one of the key things in terms of, from a sales perspective, when you get sales teams, if you bring in good people and then you also bring some bad people, the shit people will put the good people off working there. So you want to like cut out only the weaker people. With that, I want to talk about like building a kind of a winning culture on purpose. So a lot of this comes from creating a competitive environment. So from a sales aspect, we use leaderboards. From lead generation, we use leaderboards. You want to focus on people having work ethic, ownership, and results. This is the big thing, and reinforce the behavior patterns you want. So if someone does something good, you've got to tell them they did it good. If someone did something bad, you've also got to tell them. But you have to flip certain things. This is a big mistake a lot of people make, is they criticize people publicly. You want to praise in public and criticize in private to protect particular people if they have ego. With this, what you have to think about also is having clear structure. So if you have a sales team or lead gen team, you need to have meetings with them every day. You need to make sure you build rapport with them. You want to reinforce the results we get your clients. And then you have to think it's not just about keeping people motivated all the time, but it's having clear expectations of what needs to be set for them. And that's when people will actually exceed your expectations. So I recommend to have KPIs for everyone, how many calls they're supposed to book every day, how many pieces of content they're editing, what their churn should be in terms of their clients. And ultimately, like if you're looking to try and build your business at 7 figures or to 8 figures, it ultimately comes down to then leverage. So getting the right person, putting them in the right seat, making sure they're developed to the maximum, and your job as a business owner is to pour back into them. Why most people say that they bitch and they moan that their team sucks, well, ultimately you suck because you hired them and you trained them. So it comes down to taking the ownership of the situation, which ultimately the most successful people in business always will do, is they will look at what's working and what's not. Most people only want to take responsibility for what works, not what doesn't work. And ultimately, I know things in my business that aren't working the way I want, it's my fault. Because if someone hasn't done it correctly, I fucking hired the person, I put them there. So therefore, it's my responsibility either to fire them, train them, or find some type of solution. And ultimately, a decision-making framework you can think about is like, what problem does this solve? Sometimes you don't even need some of the team members you necessarily bring on board, because sometimes some things seem like a great idea. So you can actually get success in your business from a leadership management perspective by subtraction, not just adding more people in, because brains beat bodies. If you've got one genius person, they can beat 4 to 5 shit people. So if you kind of think with that intention, it will then become easier to scale a business, have a smaller, more efficient team, and I'd also incentivize them on the upside as your business scales. If you want to have monumental success, the fastest way to do that is create like an all-star team around you who bought in the culture, what you do. You also have fun together and you enjoy everything along the ride.
Now, if you enjoyed this clip and you're a coach, creator, or a business owner and you want help in terms of how to scale your business using ads, AI, content, marketing, a lot of things we talk about on the show, then hit the link at the top line of our description in the YouTube video. You can book on a call with us and walk through the whole process, audit your business, and show you where there's huge, huge opportunities for you to scale.